all of a sudden around that period, Alex Jones popped off, Joe Rogan popped off. All these figures popped off and started feeding into this. They started feeding completely into like this wave. And I noticed from Obama to Orange Man Bad Part 1, that whole movement just evaporated.
America's dead.
Tonight we're gonna go over a bunch of stuff. So we're glad we have a guest here who's been doing a lot of great research, specifically into Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
There's tons of other stuff. We brought you on last time for Theo Vaughn, so like the comedian sphere.
That's right.
The comedian propaganda network.
And I
thing to witness.
I wanted to take people a little bit back into history, because I don't know if you guys notice this within your like normie spaces out in meat space, out when people went outside and talked to each other.
Yeah.
But there was a period towards the end of Obama's term. And I remember it because I remember all my normie friends. I don't know if you guys had the same thing. They started talking, they started kind of, looking behind the curtain, so to speak. They started talking about conspiracy theories. They started questioning 9/11. They started talking about...
It's when like Pizzagate started and stuff, right? That started to make the rounds.
Yeah, and they started talking about like, was Building 7 a controlled demolition? What about this? What about that? That's when, and all of a sudden around that period, Alex Jones popped off, Joe Rogan popped off. All these figures popped off and started feeding into this. They started feeding completely into like this wave. And I noticed from Obama to Orange Man Bad Part 1, that whole movement just evaporated. I just remember everybody just stopped talking about everything and they just focused on like Orange Man Bad. They dialed it way back into like normie mainstream sort of politics, and they stopped talking about, like nobody talked about USS Liberty again, which was totally what they sold you on it.
Well, the whole conspiracy like sphere, like that, I think it's like at least partially is created by the establishment in order to like kind of like create a subset of narrative management. That's what you see with people like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, right? And that's
Alex
Jones. So basically, like the conspiracy subculture is almost like a conspiracy within itself.
I think it always has been. It's a classic Freemason tactic. That's Masonic. That's Masonic
categories, and that this is what you do. Like if you ever worked in paid ads, like this is what you do. You do audience management. You create groups of people who are your target audience, and you make them segmented off into certain groups, and that way they're separated, and you don't have people converging together.
I think we had this like really interesting inflection point when he took office the first time, because like you were saying, those people that were leading those conspiracy conversations, the second that Trump got in, there was like a shift, because now instead of like covering conspiracies and trying to put work into like exposing the government, they started to use their efforts to like defend the government. And they were, coming up with all of these conspiracy theories about white hats in control, and the QAnon movement and stuff stem from that. And so it's almost like it flipped it on its head. And now most of the people that were conspiracied, like against like Hillary Clinton and the kill list, the 9/11 stuff, even people that were against Bush, like they're like pro-government, cheering on the ICE raids and things that are going on. And it's like, I thought you guys thought government was bad. What happened?
No, it's crazy. It's crazy because I used to listen to Joe Rogan. Like I was actually into Joe Rogan back in the day, like back when it was like MMA and like conspiracy stuff. And then I watched it in real time over the last 4 years, literally just turn into a State Department propaganda outlet where he literally has like
the same CIA agent, one CIA guy won like 10 times.
It's insane. Yeah. It's actually it's if you were paying attention to Joe Rogan like 8 years ago and you see what he's become now, it's actually kind of insane to witness in real time.
Dude, I miss when he just had like I miss when he just had like Joey Diaz on, and Joey would like tell some obviously made up stories that he just like thought up before the show. He's like, because it's like this Jabba the Hutt looking dude, and he's talking about like these crazy antics with like these hot girls, and I'm like, okay, so you're just making up stuff for the podcast. It's fine. Or he had like Ari Shafir on, and you know, like he'd give his own borderline sociopathic takes about stuff. Like when he had real guests on, that were just like comedians and entertainers, and all of a sudden it's like, here's technocrat number like 26, and we're gonna just talk about like how everything that billionaires want for the future is based actually. And that's kind of the news that's breaking today, where, you know, he's talking to all these technocrats again. And he's had Elon Musk on a bunch of times. You could argue that he manufactured consent for the second Trump presidency.
He had him on. What do you? Yes, of course.
Yeah. And then he endorsed him.
The reason
and
he won.
And I say manufactured consent because, surprise, your elections are fake. They're bullshit. Yep. You don't have a say. You do not have a voice. You have what the late great George Carlin calls the illusion of control. You just need an illusion. You just need your phony little dopey elections, and then people don't go out in the streets because they're like, well, I guess we lost this one to Chex Notes, a game show host who was Chex Notes again in the World Wrestling Federation Hall of Fame. This is all real, I promise. Fuck. Like,
it's crazy because like I've been like digging through history and stuff like that, like going back World War II, early like 1900s, and seeing all the manufactured events that happened then. And it's like we're at the point now where the mask is off and we are just on the face, a clown world. Everything doesn't make sense on purpose. And they like use it to demoralize us, and like rubbing all the Israel AIPAC stuff in our faces and all that stuff.
The Israel shit, so this doesn't get covered enough by like a lot of people, I think. But I feel like demoralization psyops really need more attention, because I feel like that's a big thing they do. Because all that flotilla shit, all of these operations where they are purposefully putting this in your face and going, there is nothing you can do to stop us slaughtering children in the Middle East. You can't do shit. Fuck you. They had a flotilla. It failed. They had another
Venezuela shit right now. I think you're kind of seeing they're literally out on live TV admitting like, yeah, we're gonna fucking kill them all. We're gonna kill those. We're gonna fucking kill those fishermen. We're gonna fucking that, which we covered on the last stream. But like, fucking, they're out here being like, yeah, we double tacked that boat.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
It was just breaking. I had to go to the dentist, but right before I clocked out, I had a crazy thing where I had to clock out from work and immediately go to a dentist appointment, and that's like awful because it's like, great, instead of decompressing from my bullshit job, I get to have them drill bullshit into my mouth, and I was worried that my mouth would still be frozen. I'd be doing some Dick Cheney shit up here, but so I just saw it break that Trump did announce that they are planning on doing a ground operation in Venezuela. So that's good stuff. No, everybody wanted this. Every single account that's definitely not in. You know what's the funniest part? And I feel like this is part of the psyop too, because you know everything they do is deliberate, right? So the X decision to have the location show up, I've lost count of how many accounts are like, I am in Venezuela. Donald Trump, please free us from our evil Hitler dictator guy. Yeah. And then I go to the location, I'm like, United States.
Yep.
Or like
India.
Big India, because it's cheap, right? They can have a lot of people going. You know, $3 an hour for that pre-roll.
I've calculated all of the pro-Israel accounts are from India, and all of the pro-Trump MAGA accounts are from Nigeria. That's what I've seen.
That's some good research.
Yeah,
that's really well done.
Well, they have bases of operation, obviously. So I mean, like, it seems for a fact that we're having a lot of these pro-Israel accounts based in India, but also the pro-MAGA, like the Ivanka Trump account is based in Nigeria. What are we doing?
That is the funniest shit. That is so fucking funny. It's just like Ivanka Trump, and he's like, okay, well, this is, and I think that's deliberate.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to confuse everybody deliberately because I think this is also a Masonic adage. I think they stole it from Rome though. Order through chaos. Let me look that up. But it's always the same play. They create all this chaos, and that's the perfect time when everybody's confused. Yep. So it's originally Latin, ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. So today I studied Latin, and I didn't know chaos came from chaos. That's cool. But it's always the same play. It's always the same play. They call it, the libs call it flood the zone, but it's really they're creating chaos.
Yeah.
And then from that chaos, people aren't tracking what they're normally tracking, right? Like the perfect example is that, and we'll get into the Joe Rogan stuff. Perfect example is everybody kind of peering behind the curtain towards the end of Obama after 8 years of everybody wanted the hope and change shit. And then he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to kill so many brown people. Dog, you have no clue. And then towards the end of it, people started like breaking out of the matrix. They started breaking free from the system. And then just like that, Trump comes in, everything's crazy and insane. And then everybody is just plugged right back in to the matrix.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's a good point too. Flooding the zone is a way of demoralization. That's correct too.
That's fair.
But let's get into the Joe Rogan stuff because he's been popping off today on the Reaction Factory, also known as Twitter or X or Elon's Maps. I'm just gonna call it Elon's Maps.
Yeah, I saw a clip. I think it was earlier today where he had talked about the possibility of Jesus coming back in a computer. And I don't know that. I mean, obviously he's earning that like Spotify Peter Thiel money trying to push this shit on people. But it's like, I don't even know how he got to that like jump in logic, because he's just like, so Jesus came from virgin birth. The closest thing to a virgin is a computer. And it's like, what do you mean? What does that mean?
I was like, this is how you're going to, again, manufacture consent. We're not going to like actually convince anyone with a functional brain on this. This is how you manufacture consent for like AI technocratic governance. You're like, Jesus is back, but he's Chat GPT, and don't pay attention to that ad for APAC under Chat GPT. That's another story we're not going to get to, but Chat.
Yeah. No, I truly do believe, and I guess I was gonna kind of say this, but like we know that Joe Rogan's audience is based in like a right wing, kind of pro-Trump Christian audience, and the digital convergence with the right wing sphere and Christianity, it's the perfect message to deliver all those people into pro AI.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy when you look at like the overlapping interests of like especially Christian Zionism, the Israeli interests, the technocrats, the bankers. It all goes back to like that golden age that they allude to in like the Chabad Lubavitch circles. The Kabbalah alludes to it as well, and I think they are like trying to install an AI god to basically manage everything, because it takes a lot of work to at least pretend like you're running companies. Might as well just outsource that to AI too and just let them do the ruling for you while you reap the rewards. And that's what the USAID stuff was about, was saying like, look at how corrupt and incompetent people are in our government. That's why we should have transparent AI and things like that. And it's like we're never going to get that. And Elon has been pushing that for a couple of years now. You remember they asked him, who do you think is going to be the next president after Donald Trump? And he was like, who's in charge of the teleprompter or whatever. And then he talked about AI, eventually ruling us. And Mark Andreessen says the same thing, Peter Thiel, and all of those guys.
Yeah, just a thought on that. But I've said this before. I'll probably say it again because I'll forget I said it here. So I'll just say it again. That's how being 40 years old works, actually. For everyone, I just doxed my age. Is that a drone? Anyway, so this is just a thought, but how fucking easy would it be? Okay, because we're, again, with AI, we're still in the trust building phase. We're implementing this into all of our, flows at work. We're creating like a reliance in society on AI to the point where, like we have people, I caught myself doing it a little while ago. Well, where I would ask AI a question because my wife and I were trying to figure out something. We were actually like not arguing, but like play arguing, like that thing, right? So they're creating this giant reliance on AI. Once society is fully bought into this, they fully trust AI. How fucking easy would it be to be like, well, AI clearly knows better than us, and then they have it governing, but we also know that they completely can pull the strings on all of these LLMs, all of these AI models. They can completely control them. We've seen it. Remember Mecha Hitler? We all remember Mecha Hitler. when Grok was like, you know what? It is time to notice.
Yeah.
And then everybody's just like, what the fuck is this? And then they tweaked it. So we know they're controllable. So,
and then just an ad for APAC right underneath.
No, it's all just going to be APAC GPT next week. No, so how easy would it be for them to completely just go to the like purest form of authoritarianism that might have ever existed by going, oh, we're just going to trust the AI now. We're all just going to listen to the AI. Oh, shit. You don't want to wear an ankle bracelet whenever you leave your designated property. That's too bad because the AI said that that's the best move and we got to trust the AI. So
yeah.
So that's what I think is gonna like happen, because once we've all trusted the AI, they can just, like, the AI itself is kind of just like the mask. It's like it's like the Oz. It's not the guy behind the curtain. And then they're just like, AI said we have to send 4 trillion to Israel.
Yeah. What's crazy too is, like, most of these companies will offer at least like some amount of like source code or something like at least available to like different auditors and things like that. But the code for the AI government, all of that is going to fall under national security, just like the Jeffrey Epstein list. And nobody's ever going to be like privy to how it works, how it runs, and that's just like fulfilling the prophecy of Elon Musk's grandfather.
Yep.
Thanks, Bad Cookies.
Anyway, let's get into those Joe Rogan clips. Crab, do you got those? I can grab them.
I thought you had them.
If you're too busy,
I can get them right now.
No, I got it. It's okay. I do everything here. It's fine. It's fine, buddy. It's fine, buddy.
I got the casino politics.
You're a casino. How about that?
I am a casino.
Do you like how it just made no sense there? I'm proud of it. I'm proud of myself for that.
I was rolling with it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we do here on PROLEPILLED. We yes and.
Who's Sarah P? Sarah Palin?
It's a me, Sarah P. I think I've heard of that person.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one clip from More Perfect Union, which has been like blowing up lately, which I didn't expect, but I assume they've been co-opted. Hopefully not. Actually, knock wood. Knock wood is surprisingly effective, even if I'm just manifesting my own shit into the universe. So this is Joe Rogan. He had on NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang.
Who just signed a big contract with Palantir, by the way.
Big
like, another one.
Another one. Because we need more than one. So let's take a listen.
If United States doesn't grow, we will have no prosperity. We can't invest in anything domestically or otherwise. We can't fix any of our problems. If we don't have energy growth, we can't have industrial growth. If we don't have industrial growth, we can't have job growth. It's as simple as that.
Right.
And the fact that he came into office and the first thing that he said was drill, baby, drill. His point is we need energy growth. Without energy growth, we can have no industrial growth. And it saved the AI industry. I got to tell you flat out, if not for his pro-growth energy policy, we would not be able to build factories for AI. We would not be able to build chip factories. We surely won't be able to build supercomputer factories.
I just
None
noticed
of
the
that stuff would be
captions.
possible. And without all of that, construction jobs will be challenged, right? Electrician jobs. All of these jobs that are now flourishing would be challenged. And so I think he's got it right. We need energy growth. We want to reindustrialize the United States. We need to be back in manufacturing. Every successful person doesn't need to have a PhD. Every successful person doesn't have to have gone to Stanford or MIT. And I think that sensibility is spot on.
Yeah. So
Man,
that's how we're doing.
I just want to grab him by the leather jacket and stuff him in a locker.
Every single one of these people, you want to do the same, right? It's
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm sorry you got bullied, but ushering in technocratic hell is not the solution. The solution is talking to someone about it, because they all have the same, like, it really is just revenge of the nerds, and it fucking sucks. It's so bad.
But yeah, he the NVIDIA, obviously, like, part of like Operation Stargate, and they're partnered with Oracle, who is another sponsor of Joe Rogan's, actually. That's where you get like Larry Ellison and things like that. But he's Peter Thiel, I think, he's been a frequent guest on there a couple times. I remember Joe Rogan talking about going to parties at Peter Thiel's house as far back as 2018.
Oh shit, he's doing the eyes. You know they're doing eyes wide shut shit.
Yeah.
You know that's some eyes wide shut, like lizard, like they take off the mask. Some of them are lizards, and they're like, "We're sorry, we enslaved you to mine gold," or whatever they say. But
The last stream you were on, we were talking about, like, Tim Dillon was openly talking about a part, like a house party with Peter Thiel's house.
Yeah. No,
real things that are.
I really feel like a lot of the guys from the Roganverse actually, like, frequent that and go to those parties and stuff. There's obviously, like, very little proof. I think they learned from Epstein not to document so much of people hanging out together personally on non-business affairs. But yeah, there's some, like, really, really sick stuff going on there, because it is literally just a collection of all these people that want to push transhumanism and put chips in our brains and clone themselves and create a legion spawn of their own offspring.
I don't know if you're familiar with Warhammer 40K, but it's starting to look more and more like that's, I don't know if it's predictive programming or just we're so down bad that we're going like we're going into some future bullshit that is only fun in a video game when you're the hero and not the citizen number 862 who, and the crazy thing is, like, I feel like the average person just has no idea this is coming. You guys feel that? You're just like, wow, there's people out there who have no idea what's coming. They're just going to wake up one day and they're going to be fisted by their cleaner robot because they said something bad about Israel. And they'll be like, wow, what happened? And all of us have been screaming from the rooftops, and it's like, fuck.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
anyway, guys,
it feels like I've been screaming into the void for years, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and it sucks, but the one piece of advice I can give to you guys is, like, when you're talking to normies about this kind of stuff, do not self-censor. Just be mindful of, like, receipts. Like, have something on your phone you can show them, because yes, it will cause cognitive dissonance, but they won't just be God damn it. We're already at, oh no. I knew the second I said that. I love you guys. like no, I forgot my train of thought. It's gone. Anyway, here's the sorry.
I think you were saying like they're gonna wake up one day and it's just gonna hit them and.
Oh yeah.
Like
oh right. I'm back. Thank you. So the one piece of advice I can give you guys is I think a big problem. I noticed this during the first time I noticed this like with human behavior. It was the 9/11 sort of era, where we started self-censoring. We started being like, oh, I feel that and I think that, but I can only talk about it with these certain people over here. And I can't talk about it in open spaces because I will. We have that human thing. We're social animals. We're always fearful of being rejected by the tribe. The one piece of advice I can give is like start talking about this shit openly in open spaces and just have receipts. Just have receipts. So you can be like, look, I'm not a loon. I'm not crazy. Here's all the shit. Check it out. Because we got to start talking about this with normal ass people. Because otherwise we are cooked. You know, we need enough people to actually do something about this. And I'll never be the one to say it's too late because I don't think it ever is too late. Because whatever shit they got on their end, we can do something about it if we're smart enough and we're clever enough. Unless we're all dead.
Even just sheer strength by numbers, like can they really kill all of us? They have to have somebody to rule over, right?
That's the thing too. Like they need so many things. Like they need our data. Like they're just completely reliant on like everything we do. I almost feel like they're starting to look at us as like an ant farm. They're just like,
oh yeah,
what would we do if like, I don't know. What if we like just poison the water over here? Let's see. Like no, better example.
Sim
The
City.
Sims. Yeah, Sim City, exactly. We just trash some shit over here. So this is the actual clip of Joe Rogan. Just, oh God, no. Nope. There we go.
Yeah.
I went to press share screen. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired today.
The dentist really
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer?
What is?
If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
If you combine Tesla's Optimus robot and the best foundational artificial intelligence model or whatever.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you, and it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer?
Yeah, just like I'm sorry. Guys, I'm fucking sorry.
And that like I'm going to say it again. That is to push Joe Rogan's majority right-wing audience, who are presumably Christians, like American Christian nationalists or whatever, into technocracy.
Yeah.
Because I would assume, I'm not too familiar with those circles, but they're against AI for its like anti-human, anti-nature kind of reality. But what this does is like we can now push them into believing like if there's like a supposed false flag event where we see an AI generated Jesus rising from the grave or like the second resurrection or some shit.
So I actually have something with the like the Peter Thiel Antichrist speeches he's been giving over the last year. So he says that technically, and this is how he's like tried to frame this, is that because you can transcend in Christianity, that is a form of transhumanism, and like by becoming like blessed or forgiven or let into the kingdom of heaven, that in itself is like a form of transhumanism. So actually Christianity is just transhumanism. And he was pushing that a couple months ago.
Oh man.
The New York Times interview?
I think so. Yeah.
Because he was talking about transhuman. He was openly talking about like the same interview where he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to see the end of humanity,
Yeah.
or if I want to see the continuation of humanity or whatever." He's like talking
Where
about
he had
trans people or something, and then he's like, "Well, you know what? Let's expand on that. Let's just make everything transhumanism,
Yeah.
and just like make
where
it."
he had his where he had his reptile his additional reptile malfunction. Whenever they ask this motherfucker something like that requires like a dash of humanity, he just like, system has performed a legal operation, must be shut down. Error 404. Like he just falls apart. And part of me is like, is that part of the psyop? Are you trying to sell him as like a lizard person? And then part of me is like, no, I'm pretty sure that's actually just a lizard. That skin doesn't look real. Like they didn't do a good job on his skin. What is that? What did they use? Sandpaper? What the fuck is on his face? What are we doing?
I guess the young blood isn't as good for your complexion as they had said that it was.
No, it's just the problem is like everybody's got microplastics and like got like Nick Fuentes is a Jesuit psyop.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Thiel
I thought
knows about the Antichrist.
Yep.
Peter Thiel knows about.
That was very surreal to see him on South Park.
It's
I've been
kinda
watching
crazy.
South Park since.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the latest episode, but if they put him in jail. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that kind of social commentary from them, but they're going really hard this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah. I didn't want to
They're allowed
point.
to do that, but like I think it's mostly because
I did want to point towards a thread that Seven Seas himself did actually on Who Funds Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Spoiler, I know you guys are going to be really surprised by the first one. This is going to be breaking news. But Israel made the list. I know, guys. I know. I'm shocked too. I'm really surprised that Israel has its tentacles in Joe Rogan. I never could have possibly anticipated that from the amount of Zio slop that I've witnessed over that numbers of years now on his show. So Israel, Unilever, BlackRock, CIA, Oracle, World Economic Forum, like, and half of those groups are groups that he like pretends to criticize on his show, just to like try and throw off the scent a little bit. But if you want to, I will actually post this as a link for everybody to check out because it is a great thread.
extensive research. It's really I like
Connects,
math. I like math.
Yeah, I like that too, and it's because I'm very neurotypical.
This is very comprehensive.
Thanks.
Very ADHD. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that because like when I'm reading articles and going through different like books and other things, like it's hard for me to keep track of who owns what. So especially when I started to dig into like who does Peter Thiel fund, and it's just fucking everybody. So I was like, I need something that I just like a quick reference to everything.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like it because I really like fucking around in like Unreal, and it's got a really cool like. I do program, but it's got a really cool like visual coding thing that looks kind of like this.
Blueprints, I think, right?
Yeah, blueprints. Yeah, exactly. Blueprints. And it's really cool just because it gives people a chance who find like, C++ intimidating or whatever to kind of get into it and actually kind of like bridge the gap. So it's really cool. But no, this is super comprehensive, and like when we say I'm PROLEPILLED, and when 7C says again that this shit is all connected, we're not fucking around. It is all connected. Like
it's almost like it's ironic how scripted a lot of it is.
Yeah,
it's connected into such. There, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is ever a coincidence. You either fall in two categories: either everything is a coincidence or nothing is.
Yep.
Everything or nothing, and you got to pick one. You can't pick and choose. Okay, you got to go 1 or 0 on this shit. Because let me tell you, like, the more you research all of this, the more like you're going to be surprised by just how much of it is just completely like it's all just like a 3-act fucking play.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it. It's all, if they really don't want you to see some shit, you won't see it. You won't even hear of it. It won't exist. Maybe you'll like, unless you like drill down hard and try to find something, and then they take away all your social media accounts if that happens.
Yep. Or they just kill you.
Yeah, or they just turn you, or they just give you the old turning point, as we call it.
Yeah.
They give you the Charlie Kirk special. And that's because these people are just like,
yes, we're gonna surveil everybody. Everyone will be on their best behavior. Yeah.
Shout out to the Young Turks for merchant posting on Maine. That
Awesome.
I listen, I didn't expect that one.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to wake up one day and say, Anna what?
Kasparian?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The best was Jenk's face while she's doing that, by the way. He's just like,
I work with Barry Weiss now, right?
yeah, you're like, I'm gonna get kirked. What are you doing? So that's Joe Rogan, and our point, at least the point to all of this is, I think it was a brilliant psyop. How Joe Rogan basically got all of those people who are critical of government, and there's so many examples across not only history but like recent politics and entertainment of these people who not them obviously, but like they're the people who end up funding them and getting involved with them can read through and be like, okay, we're getting a lot of dissent over here, we're getting a lot of people, this is going in a direction we don't want, so let's get this person over here, let's get him. Alex Jones, exact same category. Let's get him to start saying all the things that are going to feed into that and then pull them over. And Joe Rogan fucking completely did that.
Yep.
Because one moment he's talking about 9/11 being Building 7 being a controlled demolition, all these things that are getting normies to kind of wake up. Straight to
having Trump on the podcast. We'll have Trump. We'll have the next president on.
Yeah.
Let's have Trump on. Let's have the same CIA guy on. Welcome back for your 28th time or whatever it is. The dude just all on there, and he just like, all right, what can I get these idiots to think this time? But
is that Mike Benz that you're talking about?
Yeah, he's got his look is like the bandana, the
one.
Bandana.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different Mike Benz. Yeah.
Okay, if they're bald,
different CIA agents.
I just want to say, Sean Ryan, Mike Benz. If they're bald, there's a good
John
chance
Cullen.
CIA.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
Well, yeah, the archetype of a defender of the state, period, is a very thumb sort of situation going on. You need to be a certain similarity to a actual human thumb. Like if Joe Rogan's like, good to meet you, glad to be here, then there's a good chance they are protecting the government writ large.
They're literally the thumb that gets pressed on the scales.
Mm-hmm. And if they're not in the CIA, then like the lowest level are like cops. You see very many thumbs when they're out doing coply things, as nobody says it.
Yeah.
But that is basically what happened with Joe Rogan. He got he basically caused like a massive Western narrative shift where everybody was going, and I saw it with my like real life friends. They went from like questioning, the government, dipping into all kinds of conspiracies, to the point where like they were going past me. They were going way past. I was pretty with it, but I had friends who were like, what do you know about the Anunnaki and the ancient Sumerian texts? What do you know about the ancient Sumerian texts? And it might have influenced me a little bit, but I digress. Those people then just got pushed all the way over into just mainstream culture war slop. It was slop. And then they're just like rooting for Trump and they're doing the two-party thing. And I'm like, do you remember when you correctly identified that this was all just stupid bullshit theater and everything they do is just to keep you from going out into the streets and pulling them and stringing them up by their entrails?
Yeah.
You remember that? Because now you're cheering for that same apparatus.
Right. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. And like, you know, when you look at like the different things that Joe Rogan's even like talked about over the years, like DMT and doing like different hallucinogens, neuroplasticity is actually like a huge part of the transhuman agenda, where they want your brain to be more easily moldable and modulated, so that as you get programmed and things like that. I mean, Peter Thiel has investments in like multiple psilocybin companies. You know, I think there's a couple of people that are even like wrapped up in like cannabis companies that are, you know, like buying up all of the resources and consolidating the industry there as well. And who knows what they're adding to the shit, you know? So it ends up becoming like this like repeating pattern, because, you know, you already have like the AI transhuman thing, but then, you know, you look at like the alien stuff, the UFO disclosure, like Project Bluebeam and the stuff that Ronald Reagan said, where we're going to unite under a one world government because of aliens. I still think like it's either going to be that, or they're going to manufacture like the Rapture, and it's just going to be drones like vaporizing people instead. I don't know.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that? And AI Jesus, Rogan gave it to us. He's like, this is AI Jesus. And guess what? A lot of you motherfuckers have been naughty. You are getting a laser in the cranium for Christmas.
Yeah.
They're pushing a lot of the alien psyop stuff too.
Yeah.
Which I think
like
is like part of the whole like kind of like AI agenda of like making these false flag events. Either whether it becomes like a Jesus second resurrection, or like an alien UFO, whatever they have planned in that way, it's coming in the form of artificial intelligence or generative intelligence.
Yeah. I mean, there's there's reports back in like the mid 90s where they had talked about different ways to depose Saddam Hussein. And apparently they had been like lobbying the idea of creating like a hologram of Allah to like tell people that he was bad and to like get him and throw him out of office. And so that was kicked around by like very senior members of the military. And I'm like, well, if that was in like 1997 and we're in 2020, almost 2026, what could they do now? If that they were like, we could try this.
Well, also, when you think about shit like Operation Northwoods, it's like, oh, so you just took this and just rolled with it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Game recognized game, except I have no game. That is. I'm just a yapper on the internet.
So there's this thing that Elon posted a little while back. It was back in December of last year, actually. So about a year ago, he posted this thing about a fork in the road. It was this like huge construction project that he was doing when he was launching his new facility. And he says he had to make sure that civilization took the path most likely to pass the Fermi Great Filters. And all of that is just like a very pretentious way to say like, statistically, because the universe is infinite, there is an infinite possibility of aliens, and we need to be able to be an efficient enough society to interact with them and become multiplanetary. So we need to have AI maximize our efficiency everywhere, and people have to ration shit, and we need to build up all these, you know, like technological behemoths and connect them all together. And I think he talks about us becoming, I can't remember if it's type 1 or type 2 civilization, but that's like the ruse that they're kind of doing is, hey, we need all the money we can get because we're doing it for the better of humanity, so we can reach the stars and expand and go beyond Earth. And, you know, just the same way the Rockefellers pushed vaccines in the 20th century for our health, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, goddamn.